Everybody, it's Joe down at Swing This. Sadie and I are finishing up a day of playing at the park and with the gym. Of course, we're watching cats on the internet. So she's being entertained while I do some mobility stuff for my shoulder. And Sadie's doing some things over here. Doing some assisted pull-ups and bounces. Cat jumps, she calls them. So I want to bring something to talk about, and let me set this up. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So this is one of those things that I can almost guarantee is going to make you feel better. Anyone that does a lot, think about how important your shoulder is. And honey, hold on please. So we're talking about delt health and pain and stuff in the delt. So think about how many different angles that the shoulder works: front, medial delt, and the rear delt, and then all the muscles, the rotator cuffs, it's muscles that attach in there, your lat, pec minor, all that stuff, and the trap. So basically so much stuff. This is a 5-inch semi-squishy ball. I don't want something super hard. Now, this is what I'm going to show you how to do. This is a wonderful, wonderful way to loosen up and really loosen up some of that tissue in there. Did you flip? You're okay. Nice job. Good catch. You okay? Good catch. You want to help me video right here? Okay. So this little one did a little bump on your head. Okay. Well, here, sit right by me, okay? Scoot over, please. Sit over here. Fix you. I gotta fix her. Here, I'm gonna take this ball. I'm gonna roll. No, right. Well, I told you, gotta be careful, okay? Alright, so what I'm gonna do is take my arm. I'm gonna put this ball right on basically the insertion of the pec. I'm gonna work on the front delt. So if you can see this, I'm laying super bright in the background. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is going to work on that front delt, and I kind of pin this, and I'm going to internally and externally rotate while I'm in that position. That's why this ball is soft and not super hard, because I want it to be able to move. I want it to be able to grab the tissue. Okay, so I'm going in here, and I'm going to go in all different directions. Then once I'm going to get up and behind. Now, I've really internally rotated my shoulder, my upper arm slightly behind my back. Now, be careful with this, so that tissue is really tight now. But that's why I'm using the soft ball to kind of move the tissue around as I go. After that is when I'm going to start spinning around a little bit, and I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to work my way all around. So Terry's major and minor, we're going to try to get in there in the lat. Now, I'm going to start getting onto my back. Now, notice I'm still using that ball, and I'm using it to basically smear the tissue around. But in all different types of areas that I'm working, tricep really gets a lot of work in there too, because it's connected all the way to that shoulder blade. So I'm still rolling down. Now I'm still internally, externally rotating. And now what I'm going to do is get onto the rear delt. And you can see I'm reaching my hand all the way towards out, and I'm going loosely over. So let me spin. Maybe you'll be able to see that. Okay, yeah, right there. So now I got it's right on above the acromion, and where a lot of those delt tissues attach. And so now I'm rolling, same thing, internally, externally rotate, and just kind of wave like I'm waving above. And I can spin all the way in and let the weight of my arm up here kind of push down on the ball. So then I can work my way almost all the way around. There's a good spot right there. So I'm going to stay there for a minute. And I'm going to try to move while I'm there. Extend the elbow, flex the elbow, and rotate. Just move all the way around. And I can move in different areas. But this ball, being soft, I can get a whole lot of different areas. I can even get the bicep right there. Most people don't pay attention to bicep tension and how it can affect shoulder pain. A lot of people think like biceps is causing pain where it is. You have referral points, attachments, and wherever it is, it can create pain. It can be pain in the muscle, it can be pain in the tendons and attachments. So right there, this is an awesome, you can see like, I think you can see, I don't know. That light's kind of weird. So you work on separating the bicep there. There we go. There we go. Going to really try to attack and spread that tissue. And then, once again, I can rotate over it. And literally, I'm just trying to spread that tissue. And once I find a spot that's kind of tender, I'm going to hang out a little bit on it and work all the way around. So I started on my shoulder, and I can work all the way around to the outside of it. Can work all the way, keep working, rear delt, tricep, lat, bicep, front delt, pec, medial delt, and I can even get up like there, and I can really work on the upper part. That's why this ball is like a 5-inch ball that I can really work. This is hard to do on a wall, so I can really rotate and really get into that. But you know, think about if I'm trying to take a lacrosse ball or some ball that's super hard, even like the supernovas and stuff. If I'm trying to get stuck on bony prominences, I don't want that. I want this to be able to give and continue to spread, and you can see how this can grip the tissue. And then we're starting to get more lines and definition, and the bicep works. You know, it's getting loose and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no flex right there. It's loose. That's I want to be able to have it loose, because then trying to steal it. Then you can work on how much it changes afterwards. Okay? So I don't want a tight tissue all the time. I want the tissue to be really loose. I want it to be as tight as it needs to be. But I want it to be tight all the time. I want it to be tense when it needs to be. Okay? So I want to be able to have that fluid motion. And when tissue is really tense, it doesn't have very fluid motion. It's always fighting. Basically, it's opposite and antagonistic muscles. It's just, there's basically your muscles can act like emergency brakes. They can slow down. So if I have a lot of tension in my triceps, when I go to pull, my arm doesn't want to come back in. Same thing for biceps. When I go to press, if my biceps are staying tense and I go to push away, and there's, you know, if I stand and this is my position all the time, if I'm just here all the time from really tight, shortened biceps, when I go to extend, it wants to come back up. You've seen people all the time that have biceps and brachioradialis that are really tight, and when they're sitting straight up, their arms look like this. They don't fully extend. And it can be really kind of bad on the joint, impinging, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, I did this side and work on this side because this feels super loose. I want loose tissue. That's the thing. I want loose tissue so it can be tense when it needs to be, not all the time. So anyway, harder is not always better. People think they can only get a good therapeutic release using a lacrosse ball or a baseball or something like that. Like, I get so much. Remember, our tissue has multiple different layers, and if you're only pushing real hard, to get to the deep stuff, you could actually be aggravating and hurting the subcutaneous, like the tissue that's closer to the surface. That's why I work with a bunch of massage therapists, and we always work on different levels. You don't want to have crazy tense tissue all the time, especially in even in bodybuilding. You have somebody that's super tense and they go up there and they flex and nothing changes. Come on. We want to see somebody that flexes and all of a sudden it's like, boom, awesome. That's what we want when we go, kettlebell jerk. You clean the kettlebells, your new position, and relax, you jerk, boom, you're as tense when you need to be. Not tense all the time. So anyway, hope this video lasts and talk to you soon.